All right, IM2 classes. Today we're gonna review how to graph inequalities. We're moving on to piecewise functions, and we need to review how to read inequalities before we get there. So quick review on this stuff from IM1. So we're just gonna draw a graph for each inequality. Some things you need to remember, we have these inequality symbols, all right? Um, so to read this would be n is greater than or equal to 6. So how we do this, actually, let me write some notes down here. So this is greater than, this would be less than. If we're using those, they don't have the line underneath. We use an open circle to start. All right. This would be greater than or equal to. This would be less than or equal to. We're using those. We use a closed circle to start. Right? Reason why we use a closed circle is we are shading all the possible values n could be. If n is greater than or equal to, all right, that means it could be the 6. So we need to include the 6. So what you want to remember about these inequality symbols, the mouth of it opens up towards the larger quantity. All right. Some in elementary school, they teach about crocodiles, whatever helps you remember. The mouth of this inequality is opening up towards a larger quantity. So this is saying n is bigger than 6. So we need to shade all the values that n could be. So it's all values bigger that are bigger than 6. And because a line includes there, it means n could also be 6. So I'm going to put my closed circle. If the board lets me fill it in, great. And then sometimes I just do an arrow like that. Some people like to fill it in. I don't care, whatever. Just make sure you're showing filling it in. So here, m is greater than 3. So this is saying that m can be all values greater than 3. It doesn't have the circle in it or doesn't look very filled in. What the? There we go. That's filled in. It doesn't have the line underneath, so it doesn't include 3. So m can't be 3. It can just be everything bigger than 3. So I put my endpoint at 3. It's open because it can't be 3. And then I'm going to shade everything bigger than 3. So that's everything this way. This is good here. Or if you want to shade in like that, that's fine too. This is saying x is less than 6 or negative 6. So it doesn't include negative 6. So open circle. And then everything less than 6 is going to be this way. The value is less than 6 to the left. And then the last one, n is less than negative 2. That's an open circle. Negative 2. So everything less than negative 2 is everything to the left. There we go. Now we're going to look at the opposite. We're going to be given a graph. We want to write the inequality that matches it. So it's going to be an open circle, so no line underneath. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use x and then negative 2. It's shading everything less than negative 2, so negative 2 is a greater quantity. So I just need to fill in with the appropriate spot. X is everything that's less than it. So here's 6. So I'm just going to put my x and my 6. Everything less than 6. So x is less than 6. So here, I'm going to put my x and my 2. Everything greater than 2 is shaded. So that means x is greater than 2, and it's filled in, so I need to put the line underneath. And then last one, I'm going to put my x and the negative 4. Again, this one, everything greater than negative 4 is shaded. Everything to the right is shaded. So x is greater than negative 4. That's it. Just got to fill in those values. Next, we are going to be solving. So let me rewrite this equation over here so we can work with it a little bit better. So 2 plus 2x is greater than negative 10. So we're going to solve this first. So I'm going to do a light line of separation here just to keep track of where that inequality symbol is. And then I'm going to solve. So first step, I got to take care of this 2. Since that 2 is positive, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So positive 2 minus 2 cancels out. I have 2x greater than negative 10 minus 2 is negative 12. And then finish solving. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So times 2 divided by 2 cancels out. You get x is greater than negative 12 divided by 2 is negative 6. So no line underneath, so I'm going to put an open circle on negative 6. And x is greater than, it's opening up, so x is bigger than negative 6. I need to shade all the values bigger than negative 6. That's going to be everything to the right of it. There you go, done. One thing you may remember from IM1 is that sometimes you need to flip the inequality symbol. You need to flip the inequality symbol anytime you multiply or divide by a negative when solving. All right. So for this one, negative 3x minus 27. Again, you only flip if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative when solving. All right. You don't do it when you add or subtract. You don't do it if you multiply or divide by a positive. It has to be those two things, multiplying or dividing by a negative. So here to solve this one, I need to divide both sides by negative 3. All right. Negative 3 divided by negative 3 cancels out. Negative 27 divided by negative 3 is positive 9. Since I divided by negative 3 to solve, I need to flip this inequality the other way. So it's going to open up the left. So it just flips the other way. So x is greater than 9, no line underneath. So it's going to be an open circle. And it's going to be all values bigger than 9. Right? So this one, we'll want to do this one at the same time. So 6x is less than negative 78. So to solve this one, I need to divide by 6. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, well, that's frustrating. Gotta start this over. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. So 6x less than equal to negative 78. I divide by 6. This cancels out. So I get x negative 78 divided by 6 is negative 13. And then here's the thing with this one. I divided by a positive. Again, we are looking at the number that we divided by. The eraser one highlighted. I'm dividing both sides by a positive 6. That does not affect the inequality. All right, since the positive 6, this doesn't change. It only happens if you multiply or divide by a negative. So I'm going to put my open circle at 13. This is x is less than negative 13. So I'm going to go to the left there. And that will do it. Next time we're getting into our piecewise functions. We'll see you then.